They rush, they text too fast, they confess too soon, they move like time is running out. But the man she can't stop thinking about, he moves like he has all the time in the world. He doesn't chase moments, he lets them come to him. He's not rushing to impress. He's not reacting to every signal. He simply observes and responds when it matters. And that slow movement, that's what makes women lean in. Because in a world full of men trying to prove themselves, he's the one proving nothing. He doesn't hurry because he's not afraid to lose. And that stillness, that calm, calculated energy, it does something to her. She starts to pay attention, not to what he says, but to what he doesn't. He walks into a room and doesn't scan for validation. He doesn't look around to see who's watching him. He doesn't move fast to be noticed, because he knows attention that comes too fast leaves just as fast. So he lets silence build tension. He lets pauses create presence. He knows that speaking slower, responding later, and moving with intention makes people lean closer to catch what little he does reveal. That's the power of the man who isn't in a rush, because he's not trying to arrive. He's already there. She sees this, she feels it, and it forces her to recalibrate. She was used to men speeding things up. Now she's faced with one who's slowing her down. And that contrast, it disrupts her rhythm. It gets under her skin. It makes her curious. She starts watching everything. Your pace, your pauses, your lack of urgency. It's unfamiliar, and that unfamiliarity, it's magnetic. Most men rush to fill the silence. You let silence do the work. Most men react to every test. You recognize the test and choose not to engage. You're calm, not cold, present, not needy. And it makes her wonder, what is he thinking? Why isn't he trying harder? Does he even like me, or is he just different? That loop of unanswered questions creates an emotional grip stronger than any compliment, because when she can't read you, she starts chasing clarity. And in that chase, you become the center of her thoughts. You haven't even touched her, but she feels like you've already done something to her without even moving. If you move with purpose instead of pressure, this channel was made for you. Subscribe now and walk the Stoic path with us. She starts noticing how grounded you are. You're not trying to lead the room, yet somehow the room responds to your presence. You're not playing mind games. You're just not rushing to give her answers. That patience, it tells her something. It tells her you've been here before, that this moment isn't too big for you, that her attention isn't your oxygen, it's just another breath. And now, she leans in more. She texts first. She asks questions. She starts doing what other men usually do. But you stay centered. You don't shift just because she's drawn in. You hold your pace because your pace is your power. Fast men might win her interest, but slow men, the ones who move like they don't need to rush, they win her respect and her submission. Because women don't crave chaos. They crave the man who doesn't flinch when emotions rise. She starts comparing you to the others, to her ex, to the men who tried too hard, talked too much, and rushed too soon. They made her feel wanted. You make her feel calm. They chased reactions. You create reflection. And that shift is powerful because for the first time, she's not addicted to drama. She's addicted to depth. She doesn't just want your touch. She wants your time. She doesn't just crave validation. She craves your energy. And when she sees how you don't overreact, don't overcommit, don't overexpose, you become a new archetype in her mind. Not the man who entertains, but the one who elevates. And that is the kind of attraction that lasts longer than any flirtation ever could. Because now, she's not just curious, she's invested. She starts moving around you differently, not because you changed, but because your pace made her reset hers. She slows down, she listens more, she chooses her words with more care. Why? Because now, she knows you're not like the rest. And losing your interest wouldn't just be a rejection, it would be a fall from grace. You never said you're rare, but your rhythm proved it. And in that stillness, she starts offering more openness, more softness, more respect. Because when you don't chase and you don't hurry, you give her space to bring her full self forward, without pressure, but with presence. She doesn't just notice you now, she orients herself around you. Your calm becomes her anchor. Your slowness becomes her safety. You don't have to fix her. You don't have to impress her. You simply remain unshaken. And that grounded energy, it gives her space to drop her act, to stop performing, to stop leading. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel the shift, the moment when she stops steering and starts surrendering, not out of weakness, but because she finally feels safe enough to relax into your frame. That's the power of the man who moves slow. He's not slow because he lacks options. He's slow because he's already chosen control. He doesn't rush because he knows what's his will recognize him eventually. He doesn't raise his voice because his presence speaks louder than noise. And when the moment calls for action, he moves. Not fast, but with precision. No panic, no chase, just purpose. And that is irresistible because the man who moves slow but with power leaves a lasting mark. Not because he tried to win, but because he moved like he already had. This is the Stoic path, where movement isn't about speed, it's about strength in stillness. Remember, if she can predict your every move, you've already lost the game. But if she feels your direction without knowing your next step, you own the frame. Let me ask you this. What's the one move men make too fast that ruins the entire dynamic with women? And how would you fix it? Drop your thoughts below. I'm listening, always.